Like, when did you find out with the whole, like, what were the events leading up to finding out that you had renal failure?
About a year ago, started with the water retention.
Mm-hmm.
Rapid weight gain. Went up like 85 pounds in a month. Legs started splitting open, seeping, breathing problems. They put me on, they kept increasing my Lasix. That would work for a while. And we knew eventually that I was going to have to do dialysis, but in like May, he told me that it would be like a year from now.
Mm-hmm.
A year from May.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing the water gaining a lot again. We chose to do a Lasix push. They put me in Altman. Did a Lasix push for 3 days. I dropped all the weight, dropped all the water weight. Came back, and within a week, I started getting like twitches.
Mm-hmm.
They thought that was the side effects of another med that I was on for something completely different. So they cut that out and started me on something else. The twitches just keep getting worse. Finally, one night, and they were doing blood work every week, watching my creatinine level. The last time it was like a 4 or something. And just like overnight, I went from 4 to 10. Talking out of my head, I guess. And July, they took me into ER, and next morning, I had a cath put in, and
Started up.
here I am.
So what's the dialysis experience like? Like, say the first time. I know you're probably used to it now.
No.
No.
First time I went outside of the hospital, came back here, and it was like there's a black cloud over the house. It was bad. Now, most days that I come back from dialysis, I feel real tired, drained, moody. But toward the end of the day, like now, I'm starting to feel better than I did this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't hurt. I mean, there's no pain. It's just tedious.
Yeah.
Sitting in that chair for 4 hours. I have to go see the surgeon. They want to put the
Fistula
in my arm. I already had the mapping done. I wanted to do the peritoneal.
Yeah, which is the.
But they told me that I'm not stable enough yet.
Yeah. You have just the port.
Right here.
The fistula process is like they attach an artery to a vein, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do some kind of grafting where it builds it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was doing my research, the guy who actually had the fistula was telling the nurse where to put the needle because he knew just from being there so much.
Yeah, or they can do what they call a buttonhole.
Yeah.
Every time you go in, they put the needle in the same place. So it makes like a hole.
Yeah.
But I think all the ones that are there, my question was, is that painful every time you go in? I mean, every time they stick you. But I watch these people, and they don't even flinch. I mean.
But is that because they're just used to it? Or because
that's what I was asking. She said there's a topical cream
they put on like
that a lot of them put on right before they come, and it numbs it. This you don't feel at all.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything. My other question was, how did they get this out?
It was a surgical procedure to put it in, right? So it's going to be a surgical procedure.
No, I can go right to the doctor's office.
Really?
She said taking it out is a lot easier than putting it in.
Yeah.
Putting it in, I was awake. I was numb, but I was awake. You just have to keep your head turned like this, and the way I was in there, my head was turned and the screen was right here. And when they would do the Doppler, I could see.
I mean, have you ever gone to dialysis and had just a horrible day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The one day it was there, my heart rate went to 162, so they sent me to ER. And I was in there for 24 hours. I was only 2 hours into my dialysis, and I went to TM. I figured they have a dialysis there,
Yeah.
that they would just finish
They'd
my
finish it
dialysis,
out.
but they didn't.
They're more worried about your heart rate.
Yeah,
Than...
he wasn't really. And by the time I got to ER, they started me on some fluid, some IV thing. My heart rate went back down again, so there was. I didn't even feel sick. I felt sick to my stomach, almost like my blood pressure was dropping. That's the only reason why I said anything to her, but like I didn't have any chest pains, I didn't have any palpitations, I didn't have anything like that. But they decided to send me anyway. But that's about the only time. I mean, there are side effects when I come back, but I just expect them.
And what would that be?
Diarrhea, just feeling like, almost like flu-like symptoms. Achy, yeah, tired, a little wheezy to your stomach.